Welcome to the Wed Pro podcast, the podcast for Wed Pros no matter their stage. We are your hosts, Katie and Roxy, and this is the Wed Pro podcast.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode, and we're really excited to jump into an episode and a topic that we absolutely love talking about. It's one of those things that is something that we recommend that all wedding business owners have inside of their business. But before we dive into that, I wanted to just say, hey, let's have a little catch up. What have you been up to, Mrs. Bond? Last week was nice.
Hello. So what have I been up to? I feel like not a lot, but also a lot at the same time. It's cheerleading season for my daughter, so a lot of traveling around the UK, just getting on with my days and then trying to cram in some steps every day as well, which is really hard when you work from a desk. I don't know if anyone else
is. Do you know what? I have an app that kind of encourages me to kind of keep moving a little bit, because I'm not one for like a smartwatch. I don't have one of those. I would find it pressure to have like that thing beeping at me and telling me you need to stand up, or notifications.
Mine does it like now you need to stand up, and I actually don't. I just think, yeah, I'll stand up in a minute.
I don't need that kind of like judginess from a watch.
Like, who are you to judge me?
But I have got an app on my phone, and I've set it like a daily step target. I did get a little notification this morning though to say that I am walking more. I've walked more this month than my most walked month. And I was like, oh, okay. So I've been making an effort to kind of take the dog out twice. Another thing I wanted to say that we did, which was lovely, is that we took a day off last Friday, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, that just seemed a while ago.
Yeah, it does seem a while ago, but we took a day off. The sun was out, which was lovely. We went for some nice dinner. We went and chose some jewelry that we've been looking at for a little while, didn't we? And I think just one of the things that was really great was for us to be able to take a day out of our business and for our business to keep on running. And that brings us really into what we're talking about today really nicely, because email marketing is something that can and does work for you when it's set up properly to enable you to be nurturing in the background, for your business to be running even if you're not sat at your desk typing away and doing things kind of in real time. It gives you that time, doesn't it? But if the word email marketing makes you groan, we absolutely get it. You know, at one point it made me groan too, you know, a little bit. Sometimes even now it can make me think, oh. And you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, not another thing that I need to figure out as a wedding business owner. But today on this podcast, we're going to show you just how simple email marketing can be. And it's not just something that is another thing on your list. It's actually the piece that we find most wedding pros are missing when they say they want to have consistent bookings, isn't it?
That's it. And I think it's not just a buzzword, like it can and does work for wedding business owners, and all it's got to be is set up in the right way that's going to work for you. So if you've been relying solely on Instagram to get clients, or you've been getting ghosted after inquiries, this episode might just be the one that changes things for you.
Yeah, and we're going to break down exactly why email marketing still works in 2025 and what it can do for your wedding business, and how to start thinking like somebody who has systems in your business already, not just stress.
And we'll also be sharing why we love Flodesk so much. This is our go-to tool for wedding pros who want their emails to look stunning, and it's really easy to use, and it's really great because they do actually get opened.
They do. So firstly, let's start chatting about the big problem with social media and what nobody is talking about. So here we go. We're going to say it. Let's start with the reality. You know, we absolutely champion social media, don't we, Roxy? And it's great, but it isn't designed to convert cold leads into clients. It's fast, it's noisy, it's full of distractions. It's really difficult to stand out on socials.
Exactly. It's like standing in a crowded bar trying to get someone's attention. It's that like constant fight for attention, while email marketing is a little bit more like sitting down with them for a coffee and a proper chat without the noise. And
I would way rather be in a
yeah,
coffee
obviously,
than a
no-brainer.
And just something to mention as well, which I'm sure you all know, is that you don't own your followers on social. You know, if your Instagram went down tomorrow, which, you know, we always do say, what's the likelihood of Instagram going down tomorrow and disappearing? Probably not that high. However, your account being hacked, that does happen. Being charged for posts, reach being squashed, these are all things that we do see. It's harder and harder to stand out in groups these days. It's very difficult for your post to be seen on socials. Ads are changing again. So some things on ads that were working a few weeks ago and a few months ago aren't tending to hit the same kind of bar at the minute. Plus, some of the time Instagram does go down, doesn't it? And you know, what happens then? What happens to those clients? You're kind of stuck waiting for things to boot back up and for them to kind of unplug and plug it back in, whatever they do at Instagram.
Turn it on and off again.
Turn it on and off again. But you're kind of stuck not being able to get in front of your clients. I just want you to have a real think about, I don't like to have risk in my business in that way. If you haven't got an audience, you're not able to sell to that audience, you know, you're not able to be visible to that audience, you're not then able to convert that audience. So I like to have and own my audiences. Like, that is one of the kind of risk things that I'm like, yeah, no, I do not want to take a chance on that, thank you. And this is where email marketing really comes in, isn't it?
And accounts being hacked, accounts being suspended, it does happen.
Yeah, for sure.
We probably all know somebody. I can think of a couple of our clients that has had this happen to them. So your email list is a bit like an insurance policy, I suppose, and it's one of your most valuable business assets. You own it, you control it, and it grows in value over time. Like you have complete power over it. Like exactly like you say, we need to lessen as many risks in our business as we can. And this is quite a
stack the odds kind of more in your favor in terms of getting seen, getting your message read. We all know, we don't need to sit here and tell you like how difficult it actually is for you to be able to show up and be seen on socials, but it's not actually just about, you might be being seen, but are you being seen by the right people at the right time? You know, people have different points in their journey in terms of booking you, and they'll go through an awareness phase, a decision phase. You know, you need to have like a constant content churn that's going to be speaking to the right people at the right time. And we always say emails is where booking decisions actually happen. Your couples might be scrolling Instagram, they might be sending you a quick DM, but I bet if you looked at it, actually they're buying from the emails and the conversations that you're having with them afterwards.
And here's the thing, wedding bookings are really emotional purchases. People aren't making logical decisions. They're choosing suppliers that they trust, who they feel aligned with, and who stay front of mind. And instead of fighting against all of the algorithms and all of the squash reach and all of that over on Instagram, like, you are more likely to get to build that know, like, trust and rapport in emails. The odds are way more towards you.
Yeah, and it can help you to kind of get your message across really beautifully. You can tell stories, you can showcase your personality, and you can share really helpful content without having to think about an algorithm showing up your stuff at a certain time to the right people.
Now, we're not saying bin Instagram off completely. It's a really important part of your marketing strategy, but it's one part, right? This is like another layer. And we've seen clients go from no leads to regular weekly inquiries simply by setting up a lead magnet and setting up consistent emails. Emails that aren't salesy, they aren't spammy. You're just showing up in someone's inbox with something that is very useful.
Yeah, it's not about sending hundreds of emails and thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, it's another thing I need to do. What do I even say? It's about sending the right ones at the right time. And this is what we help our clients to do. we were on a call with them all last night, and we said, you know, it's something that at some point we're going to sit down and work with every single one of you on this, because it is such an important strategy and absolutely a game changer for your business.
It is. Right, let's talk tools. So as we said earlier, we absolutely love and will always recommend Flodesk, and not just because it's pretty. Yes, it is. It's very user friendly. It's genuinely easy to use, and it doesn't punish you for growing your list. Some email service providers will make you pay more the more you grow your list, but Flodesk does not do that.
Yeah, that is huge. You know, Flodesk is one flat fee, and you can send as many emails as you like to as many people as you like. It is so frustrating to get that little notification or that email that says you're reaching your limit. And a lot of other platforms charge you more the moment your list grows past a few hundred people. I do not want to be penalized for growing my business and being good at what I do. I don't want to be penalized for being good at what I do and building more people who want to hear from us. And Flodesk doesn't do that.
And growth is only natural as well. So that's a really important thing to think, is like, you need to be constantly growing your list, always. We love Flodesk because you don't need to be a designer or spend hours tinkering. There's loads of really beautiful templates that come straight out of Flodesk. It just fits in with the visual standards of the wedding industry, like really seamlessly. It just like seems to align perfectly.
Yeah, it doesn't feel corporate,
No.
it doesn't feel clunky, and you can really make it feel exactly like you and incorporate your branding into it as well. If you're somebody that loves Canva, you're going to absolutely love Flodesk. We've popped our link in the show notes so you can try it for free to see if you're going to get on with it. It's around £12 a month after that. And honestly, it is one of the smartest investments in your business that you can make. Okay, let's talk about the funnel that is going to work for you while you're doing other things, maybe working weddings, maybe taking some time off on a Friday to sit and enjoy the sunshine and have a little bit of food and do a little bit of shopping like we did. But I want you to kind of future pace this and have a think about kind of the processes inside of your business at the moment. Imagine that somebody comes across your business, maybe online, maybe they find you through a blog post, Pinterest, a wedding fair, Instagram, and they happen to land upon your website, right? Great. But then what?
Isn't this that like 98% of people
leave
the website?
Yeah, 98% of people will leave a website without taking any action. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions that businesses don't even really think about, I don't want to say it's a misconception, but I think it's just something that people don't even really register and think about, is how many people are actually in the market at any one time to book your service or product. At any one time, only 20% of the market of anybody in your area, at a wedding fair, searching for you online, on Instagram, will be at the point that they are in the market for what it is that you do. You know, 80% of them, they may not be, you know, aware of you yet. They may not be even aware of the thing that you do yet. They may not know that they need you yet. They may not have budget for you yet. They may not have booked their venue yet. There's lots and lots of reasons why somebody may not be. But I think one of the misconceptions that we kind of see is that people think that 100% of people are going to be, or it's quite high, that a lot of people, you know, need a photographer or need a wedding dress or whatever it is. But actually at any one point, you know, buyers move through a journey. You know, they move from kind of awareness, discovery, research. There's lots of phases that someone will go through before they get to the point where they're ready to book you, or they're ready to have conversations and see who kind of naturally aligns with them. So yeah, not only did 98% of people leave your website without taking any action, if someone's landed on your website and then they disappear, how are you getting that lead? And this is what we were talking about before, about stacking things more in your favor and ensuring that we don't have that risk in business. You work hard on your website, you work hard on the SEO, people land on your website, they're not quite ready to book yet. Maybe they're in the research phase. Maybe they you know, have all intents and purposes to sit down and make a decision, but for whatever reason, they need to think about it a little bit longer, or they need to have a conversation with their partner and they leave the website, or the doorbell rings and an Amazon parcel comes, or their dog starts barking, or any of these things, and they leave your site, you are relying on them, or they walk away from you at a wedding fair, you are relying on them remembering, oh, who was that person we spoke to 9 months ago at that wedding fair that we went to? Attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. What's the chances that people are going to actually remember you without you reaching out and reminding them? And 20% isn't really a massive number. And actually, when you pull that down, it'll be even smaller, because that will be location based. Some of those people just won't have the budget for what it is that you do. Some of them won't be your ideal clients. Actually, that 20%
It's a tiny proportion, isn't it?
Yeah, is much, much shorter. So then what's happening to the other 80%, and we call this like buy now couples and buy later couples. Email marketing is one of the things that you can do to ensure that you are staying top of mind for those buy later couples and the people who are just jumping on your website and leaving, or finding you on Pinterest and not doing anything, or following you on Instagram, and then you're relying on an algorithm showing them your content at the right time. And email marketing kind of eradicates quite a lot of that risk.
So that massive pool of people that aren't quite ready for whatever reason, you know, they've landed on your website and they've left, or you've met them at a wedding fair and then you've slipped their mind. If you do not have something for them to sign up to, a lead magnet, a freebie, something helpful, you're relying on them to remember you, just like Katie said. And spoiler alert here, well, it's not a spoiler, they won't remember. I myself have got a terrible memory. Like, you just ask me like, oh, so what have you been up to? I can't even remember.
One of the things that we used to say to people, didn't we, when we first started doing this years and years ago, when we first started back in the day, when we first started, actually, I've got a funny story to tell you about that. You just reminded me. My daughter, who's 10, what did she say the other day about something? What had changed online and she didn't like it? And she was like, oh, it was McDonald's fries. That's what it was. And she was like, these are nowhere near as good as they used to be back in the day. I was like, wow.
Sorry.
Wow, kid, you're 10.
I love it.
Back in the day when we were helping wedding business owners that would come into our shop, and we'd have kind of a little chat with them about what was working well for us, was that nobody is waking up in the morning and saying, you know, I wonder what Katie and Roxy are doing today. You know, nobody is doing that. You need to be visible and in front of them, and putting out enticing content, showing up in the places that they're showing up, and enticing them to kind of interact with you and read your content and come and check out your website or be reminded that you exist. Nobody is waking up in the morning and thinking about your business. And I think a lot of the time wedding pros kind of think that people are planning in some sort of serene environment where there's nothing, no distractions and nothing really going on around them. And that isn't the case at all. People are planning on the go, on their commute to work, in bed at 10 o'clock at night. They're double screening, watching their show and scrolling some Instagram. Your stuff has to shout louder than all of the other distractions around them. And this is why you need to have a freebie, or, you know, some people will call that a lead magnet, but essentially it's something valuable that positions you as the expert and helps them solve a small problem that they may have. And then it's going to gently lead them closer to working with you.
Basically, I was explaining the other day, it's like dangling a carrot in front of, like, no, you want it. And inside our programs, this is exactly the sort of things that we can help you with. We can help you come up with your freebie that your dream couple will actually want, not just like, oh, a wedding checklist. You know, we've got to position it really well to make sure it feels utterly irresistible, something that your ideal client's going to be like, yes, I'm going to have that. Thank you very much. Like, no,
And I need it.
Yeah, I need it. This is a no-brainer.
And once they download it, you know, the tech behind the scenes that Flodesk makes this really simple and really easy, they get onto your list. And that's really where all of the magic of everything we've been kind of saying truly starts. That's then what we call your nurture sequence, which, you know, we're not massive fans of jargon and techie speak, are we, Roxy? But nurture sequence is just a series of emails that are thought out in advance. They are scheduled to drip, so you don't have to write them in real time. You know, Flodesk and some of the email providers will do this for you. It goes into a workflow, and once you set this up once, it will go out every single time. And the thing here is you don't need to pitch straight away. You just need to be building trust, show them that you absolutely understand them and you absolutely get them, and offer support along that journey with them.
It's like building any other relationship in your life, whether it's dating, whether it's a friendship, like whatever. We're not going from right at the beginning, like to
Marriage and kids.
yeah, like all of that. It's got to be a slow burn, and that's exactly what email marketing is all about when it comes to these sequences. You're basically taking them by the hand and guiding them towards the, okay, we're ready to book a moment without sounding desperate and without sounding pushy. We're just nurturing them, aren't we?
Okay, a lot of people will say to us, oh my word, what do I even write? Like, where do I even start? And this is where most people panic. You know, they say things like, I don't know what to say. I've got to keep coming up with new things to say every single week. And honestly, this is one of the biggest reasons I think that wedding pros avoid email marketing in the first place. Not because it doesn't work or they don't believe in it, but really because they're overthinking it, and they're overthinking every single word that goes into that kind of those emails.
Doing the common, burying the head in the sand, rather than having a go. Well, it's too difficult, so we just won't consider it. I speak to so many people that are in that like pool of like, I know that it can be really good for me, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
But here's the truth. It doesn't need to be perfect for it to resonate with your couples. Like, they just need a nudge. Your job is to be helpful. You're a human, you know, just be consistent. Imperfect action is better than no action. 100% with this.
Yeah. Talk about common problems they may be facing, share a tip, tell a story from a past wedding, answer a question you get asked all of the time. Keep it really simple and put yourself in your ideal client's headspace and really think about it and reverse engineer it from that way.
And inside our coaching programs, we help with this sort of stuff too. We help create a plan. So it's not just the freebie, but it's the emails that come after that as well. So what to say, when to say it, and how to avoid that overthinking thing. And, you know, just hit send, get on with it. Let's get this done. Imagine like waking up knowing that every person that signs up for that lead magnet is having that perfect touch point with you. Like, regardless of what you're up to, it's running on automatic.
Yeah. And that really is the difference between the businesses that grow and the ones that kind of stay put and stagnate and maybe even decline slightly over the years.
Yeah.
It's action. You know, there's no secret sauce to successful businesses, really, is there? It's consistent action.
If you're not consistent, like, it will happen.
Yeah, learning, growing, being open to new ideas and new things, but ultimately it really comes down to what are you actually doing, action. And email really gives you a way to kind of control your leads instead of waiting around for them to remember and get in touch with you.
So we've had clients who have barely been getting any inquiries. We're talking like tumbleweed, who are now getting consistent bookings each month just from emails. Like, how amazing is that?
Yeah, we've helped all sorts of wedding pros as well. So I don't want you listening to this and thinking, oh my word, I'm a really niche business. Or did you know that it's niche in America? So for our America listeners, I'm a really niche business. I learned that this week. So there we go. That's my little random fact of the week. Yeah, I don't want you to think, oh, you know, you're really niche. It's not going to work from you. We've helped stylists, venues, photographers, cake makers, live painters, all sorts of people, haven't we?
Videographer, like
all create email strategies that don't feel salesy but do lead to sales.
And it's about playing the long game with this. And once that system is in place, you're not reinventing the wheel every week. You're not like trying to give yourself to every couple that it's done for you. And then what's really great is because it is like it's a do once and then kind of let it run, you can kind of tweak it, track it, look what's working, look what needs improvements. Because if we can track things, we can improve things.
Yeah, and we've got templates, we've got frameworks, and we've got support to help you really stick with this as well. Like one of the things that we do inside of our coaching program, WordPro CEO, is that we will look over every element of this for you. So not just your nurture sequence, but also your inquiry responses. We'll also look over the emails that you send after your nurture sequence in terms of keeping in touch with people, touching base, maybe even having upsells in that sequence as well, so that once somebody has booked you, then thinking about that next part, can I increase the average spend that that client is spending with me if I can send an email at a perfectly timed point in their journey? And we help you to do all of this along with, and I think this is an important factor really, along with that motivation, and also to show you that if you actually stick with it, like this is where we get the results.
Like you are more than capable of kind of doing this.
Yeah, and if you
never think that it's too difficult, we are here to support you. And if you have been ignoring your list, or maybe you've never even started one, this is your sign. This is the part of your business that the future you will definitely thank you for.
Yeah, and if you want help coming up with a freebie, whether it's mapping out those emails or building a list that brings in actual real ideal clients, not just freebie seekers or discount hunters or price shoppers, this is what we do. We do this every single day inside our programs.
And you can also grab our Flodesk link in the show notes too and get started with the tool that we recommend to all our wedding pros, because we love Flodesk.
And if you have loved this episode, do drop us a message over on Instagram and let us know. Or send it to a friend who maybe you've had a coffee with and you've had a little chat with, and they're thinking about exploring email marketing or looking into some other strategies to help them grow their wedding business too.
You have fully got this, and we are here when you're ready to make it real. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wed Pro podcast. Full transcribes of this episode, plus every other episode we have done, are available at www.theweddingbusinesshub.com/blogs. Thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions about this episode or anything else at all, you can email us at info@theweddingbusinesshub.com. And if you are loving our episodes, which I know you are, make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button so you can stay updated with any new episodes that land. Forward to seeing you on the next episode.